morning, everyone. It's Henry once again, and this is another day trip I'm on. It's been a little while since I've done a day trip with the canoe, and my longtime paddling buddy Frank is healed enough that he's wants to try a day here in Temagami. So we're going to go from the hub up through Lake Temagami proper to through Loon Bay to Spawning Bay, to Spitzig Lake and beyond, perhaps a little bit of walking up there and just kind of enjoy the day. It's been a pretty good summer for me altogether, I will say, compared to past years. I've been able to paddle, if today goes well, I'll paddle pretty close to 450 kilometers this year. My previous record was under 300, so it just shows you the enormous improvement, especially due to the double-bladed paddle. It just changes everything when you set it up right. Okay, so I'm on the Temagami access road now. I've probably got about 15 kilometers to go before I'm at the lake, and then I got to get going. Now, Frank texted me. He's just probably got to the Loon Spitzig Portage, so that's about 5 or 6 kilometers in. So that'd be a good hour or more there. So he's a couple hours ahead of me. I didn't want to drive up in the dark, and it was a lot of fog, so I'm quite happy with what I've done here this morning. He said there was kind of windy on Lake Temagami, so we'll have to see just where the winds are coming from and what it's like. I've got my jugs. I'm tempted to hide them in the forest when I'm on Spitzig because it's a small lake, because it's pretty heavy to portage them. And I don't feel like dumping them and draining them and then filling them again, so I might just hide them in the forest for the day and then pick them up on the way back. So I'm getting some video of this access road here, and it's pretty nice at this time of year in the low light, but now it's just 8:45, and we'll be on the water in a little while. lake. Alright, we'll dump all our stuff at the beach and get started. I guess Frank will be parked. I didn't notice. Alright, well, welcome to Lake Temagami, everybody, just like I was there 2 months ago. Okay, everyone, sorry about the dark features here, but when you look like I do, what's the difference? But we're heading off now from the base here at Temagami, the mine landing, I guess they call it, and our Manitou landing, and we're heading up into Loon Bay and then into Spitzig Lake. So the Portage, as the crow flies, is about 5K away. Probably going to take me more like 5.5 to 6. So it's an honest hour to get there. Right now it's completely calm here, and I'm going over 6 as it is. But I would be surprised if that lasts, but we will see. Anyhow, hopefully we'll have a good day out here. Be nice to be back doing things with Frank again. Hopefully he's enjoying the day. I'm holding the camera about 6 inches above the water. Those rocks are about 6 feet down. Water's unbelievably clear. It's amazing. Beautiful. So, deja vu. I'm right in the exact location. The first time I ever paddled a canoe, back in 1979. So that's 36 years ago. No, 46, goodness gracious. 46 years ago. I was 18. I'd never done it before, and I was in Frank's white fiberglass 90-pound canoe, and paddling seemed so awkward. I remember sitting in the bow and banging my hands on the on the gunnels and all the rest, and thinking that I had rowed a boat before, but I hadn't done anything like this. And so here we are. And I remember that trip because I wanted so desperately to go and be part of it, but I had no concept of how to make the food work or how to sleep. I hadn't sleeping on the ground, and I was miserable. Other than that, I remember being starving and hungry and tired, and yet enjoying at the same time this magnificent landscape. So with that as my initiation, I guess you could say, they keep coming back until I could figure out how to do it and call it fun. So this year, with today, I'm fairly close to 450K for the year, which for me is a lot. I know there's lots of you out there who do more, I guess, but that's a pretty good. My best year before was 270 something, so I'm way beyond that. And I got started a little bit late sorting out the paddle, and this year the real win for me this year was getting out and doing those 3 solo trips and knowing I could do it, learning some things, getting my tent sorted, or my tarp sorted out, those little clips. And now I have also a screen tent from way back that I've also put the clips on, and that in the or in the spring when it's wild in the forest, for at least you can put that up at a campsite, and I can sit under that with my chair and table and do that. So it's kind of neat to be back here again after so long. If you watch my Iceland Lake trip, I also show the legacy campsite where we camped on that 1979 canoe trip. Excuse me. And I don't know, it's just pretty special. So I'm just thinking about that as I paddle along here through Spitzig Lake. Frank's up ahead, apparently in the next lake. So when I get to the north end, he's going to tell me how to do that. Got quite a breeze kicking up here now compared to what we had earlier. Let's see if we can push through this or not. It's just touching, and you can sometimes just lift the boat a little bit with the paddle. So I'm pushing down as much as up, forward, and it just lifts the canoe that little tiny bit, and that gets us through this. I thought it was. Here we go, back in deep water, or deeper water. Really is amazing. You can travel through this country in 2 or 3 inches of water. That's just Oh, just the end of that where that stick is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my paddle is signifying the rock.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the right of it just to get there. So, Dr. Livingston, I presume?
Okay, now we turn around.
Well, that's about what's going to happen.
Go back home. I'm going to pull you in a little bit.
Thank you. All right, we're here.
Right.
Okay. So this is the south end of an unnamed lake to the west, I guess, of Spitzig Lake. Kind of a laborious slog through the bog to get there. Frank assured me that was easier than whatever Portage is here. Now,
What's that?
they start the hour and a half right now.
Okay.
No, the one to the left, I'm just curious.
This one I haven't been down.
Okay.
There's what looks like a huge glacial erratic. So if we have time, about 200 meters that way.
Yeah, I see it now. Whatever works. I never saw more erratics than I did up at Halfway Lake. That was amazing.
Damn, this lake really hasn't dropped much.
Right. Is it stable on the right there?
What's that?
It's stable where you're standing?
Solid as a rock.
Okay. So how many left? paddle on the way home with all that wind coming. We'll see what happens. We'll be going at 7 anyway, that's for sure. Hello, and thank you for watching this video. It is a pleasure to share my adventures with all of you. To help achieve my goal of at least 1,000 subscribers, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to Hiking with Henri and click on the like button for this video. It is completely free and would be of great help to me. Thank you very much. And we're here, finally, after all that, to the lake of the north here. There we go.
Odd, eh? One in front.
Where do you want me? Where do you want me to go? Frank?
Anywhere you wish.
Okay. So I'm back on Loon Bay, heading back to the car. Got about 6K to go. That was a really nice day. The beginning and the end are comparatively easy. The Spitzig Portage is probably 900 meters, and to be honest with you, I think it's easier than I remember it 45 years ago. I remember a lot of sharp rocks, and it seemed narrow and confined, but the forest of course has grown up around it, so that helps. And the half of it isn't bad, and so I was able to single out the Portage on the way back, probably carrying about 90. I got 600 in, I guess, where the log was across. I had to take the canoe off anyway. I was pretty much done then, so I needed a break. But it's obviously faster than doing two or triple portaging. And given the time that I want to be off the lake by dark, that really helped me a lot, because that saved me 40-45 minutes. So we're on our way. So Frank wanted to do a little bit of fishing in Spitzig, and I guess he's not as concerned about paddling in twilight. Not that I'm super concerned, but I don't like to cut my margins that tight. Anyhow, he took me to those lakes north of Spitzig. It's rough going to get there, but they're pretty, and I'm glad I went and saw it. My first wilderness trip was in '79, and I think, as I said before, I really struggled, and it was also the first time I ever paddled a canoe. Found that uncomfortable and difficult and all those things, but I love being outside, and I love the natural places, and so I had to, over time, of course, the thing is, from year to year, you're so busy with work and obligations that it's not like it takes you 20 years to learn how to do it. It's that you have a handful of days each year, and then unfortunately, to some extent, we have to relearn what we didn't learn the year before. That's an update from Loon Bay. I really appreciate you coming along. We'll probably do another one when we get near the end. Alright, so I'm about 300 meters, 500 meters, whatever it is, from my dock over here, and that's been quite a nice day. A lot of, like I say, paddling in isn't too bad, but the Portage is 900 meters, it's a long one, and you going in with your heavier stuff before you eat everything, it's you know, it's triple typically, and you know, half of it's not bad and half of it's harder. Lots of rocks and, you know, the usual deal. Spitzig's nice, no problem. There's some shallows in here and there, but that's no big deal. But from there, it's hard work getting up in those other lakes. You've got the marsh, maybe we were at low water, which made it harder. And then you've got to run through 3 beaver dam / weirs to get into the next one. But these nice little tiny smaller lakes with nice shapes to them and interesting and rock faces and so forth is very pretty back in there, and I'm really glad I did it. So anyhow, once again, thank you all for coming along with me. I really appreciate sharing my journeys with you, and if you're enjoying the channel, would really appreciate if you could subscribe, give this a like. I'm trying to get to my 1,000. If you can help me out, I would appreciate it. Travel safe. See you later. This beautiful day trip began at the hub, item 1 on the map. I then paddled the about 6 kilometers to the portage from Loon Bay to Spitzig Lake, which is marked item 2 on the map. This 700-meter portage was typical for Temagami with some rocky footing but an otherwise good trail. I left my ballast jugs hidden at the beginning of the portage, figuring that the remaining lakes would not be as susceptible to wind as Lake Temagami, and this largely worked out, saving me the additional work of portaging the jugs and refilling them. The paddle north on Spitzig Lake was pleasant, however the access to Pond 1 was difficult with very low water and a lot of poling required, marked item 3. It was here that I met Frank, and I then explored Pond 1, item 4, and after that we paddled north through increasingly narrow grassy passages and 3 beaver dams to finally get to Pond 2, marked item 5. Here we climbed up a height, relaxed, and then explored before heading back from whence we came. My totals for the day were 23.2 kilometers of paddling, 4 portages for a total of 3 kilometers. I double portaged on the way in and singled on the way out, and that gave me a total of 23.2 kilometers of human-powered travel. I had a moving time of 5 hours and 46 minutes and a total trip time of 9 hours and 27 minutes. Thank you very much for coming along on this trip with me.